Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to make the perfect jollof coconut rice. Yes, you heard me right, the perfect jollof coconut rice. So guys, these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. I already have my sliced onions and green peppers. That is my thyme, then the salt. This is my crayfish, my blended crayfish. I already selected and blended it. This is my bay leaves in the container, and this is my already boiled goat meat stock. We call it goat meat broth. This is part of the blended pepper that was remaining. That is my curry. This is the pepper mix we are going to be using. I blended it with ginger, garlic, atarodo, the normal pepper mix, and that's the measured rice we are going to be using. This is my already blended coconut milk. I love to use the fresh coconut milk. So guys, now we are going to proceed to put in the washed goat meat inside the pot to boil. To get that very nice goat meat broth, you have to boil your goat meat with fresh pepper blended with ginger, garlic, and a little bit of green pepper, and added onions too to blend all together. So once I blended everything, I poured it into the goat meat. So after putting my pepper mix, I decided to add my spices. I put in my curry, then my seasoning cubes. I used 2 for this quantity of goat meat that I'm making. After that, I added my onions. I already chopped onions. Then I added my bay leaves. I added my onions. Then I added bay leaves. After adding the bay leaves, I began to stir my meat, and then I realized that I didn't add my salt. Guys, please don't forget to add your salt when you are preparing your own, because well, it didn't really matter that the salt went in at the ending part, but the most important thing is that I didn't miss out my ingredient. So salt is very important, guys. Don't miss out to add your salt. So then I went back to stirring it. I made sure that everything is well stirred together and marinated, because we don't want some parts tasting salt and some part not tasting. You understand? So stirred everything together. Then I now covered it a little bit. Then I put on my gas for it to start boiling. So at this point, the goat meat was already done. I didn't show you this part. Then I started to fry it, and the oil was so hot, so I turned off the gas. I just turned it off for a bit. So then I put in my already boiled goat meat to fry. I allow it to fry for some minutes, to fry. So while it was frying, I decided to do my dishes. Guys, this is a very simple hack I always do. Like, I always wash as I go. I don't like to store my plates when I'm cooking, because it makes me all tired and stressed up when I just finish cooking. So I wash and go. I just do that to while away the time. So while I was doing that, my goat was already frying, and at this point it was already fried. Then I decided to pack it out from the oil, and this oil we are going to be using it again for the stew. So we won't be throwing our oil. I mean, it's renewable era. Some people use their oil, some people reuse their oil, but it also gives flavor to the stew if you reuse your oil. So it's also a very good idea. So at this point, when I put the oil inside the pot, I started frying my already blended pepper mix. I showed you at the beginning of the video the pepper mix that was inside the plates. So at this point, we are going to make a fresh stew from scratch. So I started frying the pepper. Then I proceeded to add in my bay leaves to spice up the stew, because the point is we are making a stew from scratch. Like, we're making a normal stew, which we are going to add to the coconut rice to make it jollof coconut rice. So after adding my bay leaves, I add my thyme, then my curry, then my seasoning and salt, as usual the normal spices that we use to spice up our stew. So guys, after spicing up the stew, I decided to stir it all together so it doesn't burn. We want to make it dry a bit, so make sure to continue stirring to make sure it doesn't burn. I decided to add a bit of my onions and green pepper at this point to give it the aroma and flavor. So once I added it, I continued stirring to make sure it doesn't burn.
Fire went out, lights went down. When you feel lost in your shadow, don't feel alone.
So at this point it was a bit dry, so I decided to add in my goat meat broth. I'm not going to be using all of it. I'm going to add a bit into my rice when it's boiling. So I continue stirring as usual. Keep stirring, make sure your stew doesn't burn because we don't want burnt stew. So I decided to go in for a taste and I was like, yummy. So I was like, there are two phases of gas. I mean, the stew is almost done. Why don't I just start making the rice? So I proceeded to lid up the gas. Then I put in my already washed rice into the coconut milk. Then I stir it up to allow it to boil for a bit. So at this point I decided to add in my stew because the rice was halfway done. We don't want the rice to be completely done before adding the stew because we are still going to cook on low heat so that the ingredients and everything would marinate and collaborate and everything. So I added my crayfish, added a bit of salt, and I covered to cook on low heat. Then I came to check if it was now well done at this point. So when I tasted it and I saw it was all done, I said okay. So guys, the last step is to add our remaining onions and green pepper into the rice as a finishing touch. It gives it this very nice aroma and flavor. Trust me guys, you should always try this step. It gives it this very fresh aroma and flavor. At this point the food is ready to be served. Come and eat guys, come and eat. And yes, that is our perfect jollof coconut rice recipe. Thank you guys for staying to the end with me. We'll see you in my next one. Thank you. Bye.